Running a small business means I wear lots of hats. When I put on my hiring hat, I can count on LinkedIn Hiring Pro to make it easy. LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps manage my hiring workflow, puts my job post in front of a unique network of professionals, and matches me with the best candidates for my business. I can also share my job with my network. No other job site lets me do that. No wonder most small businesses say they'd use LinkedIn Hiring Pro again. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. Today we have another midweek mini pod or podlet where I'm going to be talking to you about what my dream day off on my own is, because I feel like as a kid, like this was like one of the things when I was at school was like, when I'm an adult and I can have a whole day to myself doing whatever I like, going wherever I want. I don't know, I just found that the most exciting thing. And the other day I had one of those days where I got up to lots of different things on my own as well. I feel like in today's society to be able to like just go out on your own, some people see that as being really sad, but I find it so relaxing. But maybe that seems really antisocial, but I think it's good to be able to go and do things on your own. But anyway, before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Red Post is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, and they also ship all over the world. And guys, the news is out that I have a collaboration helmet with Charles Owen and is actually sold exclusively at Red Post. So the Esme Phoenix helmet, it is a lovely skull cap. It's got great ventilation. It's got a dial fit at the back. It's got removable liners so you can pop them in the washing machine, and so many other amazing features. And of course, it's up to all of the safety standards. So if you want to go and check it out at redpostequestrian.co.uk or redpost.com for my USA fans. But anyway, let's get into today's podcast episode, because the other day I was going to say I had the day off. I had an afternoon off. So Davide was away for the day, so I was in the office on my own. That was actually the day, I actually talk about this in Saturday's episode, but went for a lovely hack with my friend. She came along, so we took Joey and Caspi out. I got a load of editing done in the morning, and then the afternoon rolled around, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the afternoon off and do that extra work over the weekend instead, because that's the one thing that I am very, very grateful to be able to be. I was going to say unemployed. I'm self-employed. I'm very lucky that I work for myself, so I can technically pick and choose my hours, but normally I was going to say I do a 9 to 5. I do more than a 9 to 5. I do like a 7 till 6. That's like my normal day at the moment, but depending on how busy I am. I put a lot of hours and effort into my editing, all the admin, all the stuff of running the business. Anyway, that's the boring stuff. We're going to talk about the fun stuff that I did on my day off. So anyway, or my afternoon off. So I thought, because at this stage, kids hadn't broken up for school yet, so it wasn't summer holidays yet. And so like, I just knew everywhere was going to be quiet. Everyone was going to be at work, so I could go to my local town, and I was living the unemployed life for the afternoon. I don't know what it is. Like, whenever I walk around town and it's like a midweek kind of day, I always think, what are all you guys doing here? Why are you not at work, or that kind of thing? But I guess like some people like work weekends and have different days off. But I always think that people are going to be looking at me being like, why is she not at work? What is she doing out in town? Anyway, I went to, this for some people is going to be really sad. Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy doing this activity with my girls. But every now and again, do you ever just love to go on like a little solo date, like take yourself on like a little date? Although actually I wouldn't really say this was a date, because my boyfriend would probably not find this the most interesting thing ever, but for me as a girly, loved this day out. So I went to my local I don't know what you would call it, because in America this would just be like a shopping area in general, but in the UK we don't have many of these, but it's where you have a big old concrete car park and there's loads of little outside shops. Do you know what I mean? What's it called, Davide? Shopping, not a shopping centre, because that I would say a shopping centre is like a mall for Americans where you're inside. And it's not an outlet, because they're not outlet shops, but that kind of vibe. Basically, it's got all of the low budget but fun shops that I like going to. So I went to B&M. I'll get back to that because I had a really wholesome interaction in there. But no, went to my first go to TK Maxx. Now, I feel like if you're going to TK Maxx, you have to be in the right mindset for it. I feel like you have to be ready to look like you have to have your hunter-gatherer in you, because you have to look through all the different rails. And I'm not gonna lie, I did not have a successful TK Maxx trip. Every now and again, you find like a little hidden gem. Like I found some really nice discounted like Ralph Lauren things in there, like some really like high-end brands you can find in there. But then sometimes you go through and there's just like rubbish. There was like, I actually found the most horrible t-shirt I've ever seen in my life, okay? It was Gossip Girl, and it was a picture of Chuck and Blair kissing, like full-on kissing, in a bright hot pink love heart, and it said frenemies with benefits. And I was like, who in their right mind is wearing this unironically? So that is, whenever I go to TK Maxx with my friends, we always play a game of what is the worst item you can find, because there have been some horrible things I've found over the years. But no, so do you know what? I just really enjoy it. I love going for a little rummage. I found some nice dresses over the years from there. Wasn't successful clothing-wise. I did find a nice 100% cotton white t-shirt, because I needed a new white t-shirt. All of my current ones have either got like, you know, like armpit stains or tan stains, or just they were looking a little nasty, so needed to get a new nice white t-shirt, so very happy with that. That is one thing that I probably don't buy very often online, is like white t-shirts, because sometimes you can find ones and like you can see a bra underneath. Like, I don't know if that's a bit TMI, but I just feel like white clothing nowadays, it's always too thin and it's always see-through. Can't find good quality stuff anymore, so I was really happy with my nice 100% cotton white t-shirt. Very boring, but you need your basics. And then I also really enjoy going through the home section. Now, I don't need any more home bits, but back in the day when I first moved into the cottage, I have found so many cute, like, little trinkety things, pretty things, and, you know, just things that make a house a home. But do I still like looking through the home section, even though I am like on a ban? I'm on a ban. I like, there's some things that I'm like, no, I don't need any more of that. Like, I don't need any more pajamas, and I don't need any more home things. So, but I do quite like looking through them all. I do also, a little guilty pleasure, I love going to the candle section and sniffing. I promise this is not an ad for TK Maxx, guys, but I do enjoy like going around sniffing all the candles. And I know it's only July, but did I go through and sniff all the autumn candles and all the, like, we have, Davide and I, when we have an editing day, which we haven't had like a full-on editing day for a while. Obviously I do editing, but it's normally been like a afternoon editing, or like I've been editing, he's been doing something else. Like, we've not had like a both sit down editing grind like in the office, like a whole day in the office, because, you know, it's been really lovely weather, it's been sunny, we're doing stuff with the horses. But in the winter we sometimes have a day where we look at the forecast and we're like, that's going to be our editing day, and we'll just be in the office the whole day and just edit, or do admin and all the other stuff that you need to do on a computer. And we have an editing candle. Now, so many of you guys have been so generous over the years of meet and greets, and one of the things that I very kindly get given often, and like some of you guys bring me like little gifts and things, which is honestly so sweet, you don't need to do that, but we like, I'm gonna get so many candles now, so please don't. But every now and again, candles seems to be the one thing that I do get gifted quite often at meet and greets. So I have like a little cupboard, it's got my little candles in, and every now and again we'll crack out an editing candle, and we'll light a candle while we do some editing to, like, I don't know, make the room smell nice and make it feel a bit more cozy, especially if it's like raining outside as well. It just, I don't know, it makes me feel more productive. But we have a candle at the moment that we're using as our editing candle, and it is actually an autumn one. I know that it's only July, but I am, as a British girl, craving a rainy day. It's been so long since we've had some rain. I've been craving a rainy day. So anyway, we've been having our nice autumn maple syrup or whatever. I can't even remember what it smells like. Oh, should I find it? It is pumpkin and bourbon. It does smell very nice. It says fresh, aromatic and sweet coconut wax blend. It does smell very nice. It just smells like autumn and Halloween. It has like a little Halloween decoration on the top, so definitely not very July themed, but hey, it smells great. So whoever to you guys that got me that, thank you very much. But anyway, so I hadn't enjoyed sniffing all the candles. Do you know what I did buy though? I feel like when you go into TK Maxx, you always buy the things that you don't need, or the things that you just never expected bringing out with. And I bought Fosdog a new dog toy, because his favourite dog toy, actually, is not even a dog toy. It is a Lemure, obviously on brand. It is the Lemure stable toy that available at Red Post. There we go. It's a Lemur stable toy, but it is a flamingo. And it's made of like a suede kind of material. And because it's got a long rope on it that obviously you can tie it to, a stable kind of thing. And the flamingo's got really long legs as well, and like flappy wings. So, oh my gosh, that is hands down Fosdog's favourite toy at the moment. We call it Mingo. And it is so disgusting. It has been dragged around the mud in the garden. Like, Mingo's lived a hard life, let me tell you. But it's his favourite toy. You could throw all of the toys, and Mingo would always be the one he would go for first at the moment. Like, it does change. But Mingo, I haven't found anything that's topped Mingo yet, apart from Malcolm. I don't know why all of his toys begin with M. So anyway, I was looking through the dog toys, and I was looking at the dog beds as well, because every now and again you can find like really nice dog beds in there, but there was, I don't know, it was just like, it was a midday that day, there wasn't really anything that was like tickling my fancy that much, so I had my white t-shirt, and then I bought a flamingo toy for Fosdog. Now this is different to Mingo, because this one's fluffy. I don't know which one he prefers. He's at the moment going through the two flamingos. So Mingo is the Lemur one. And then because this fluffy one straight away took outside, started digging, got absolutely disgusting. I don't know how we've ended up naming it, but the other one is called Mingus. So we've got Mingo and Mingus, and there's two toys. My mum was like, I'm definitely not going to remember which one's which. I was like, it's fine. So anyway, he was running around with Mingus in his mouth, and he was having the best time ever. I've never seen that boy so excited. So no, that was very lovely. That was it. I mean, I was like, Fosdog, you probably have enough toys, but it did make him very happy, so it was worth it. Although actually, Fosdog is the sort of dog where the sort of toys that he gets really excited about, often they're not even toys. Like, for example, at the moment, oh my gosh, if I ever have people over, I have to tidy up all his dog toys, because people are going to think that I'm an absolute slob, and I just have all this random stuff around my house. Things that he likes to leave around my house include... he's got an emotional support sock. So once when I was doing the washing, he stole a sock out of my washing basket and claimed it as his. And I was like, that's fine, you can have that one, it's an old one anyway. So there's this old manky sock that he likes to leave around the house, which looks a bit gross. And then also, while I was gardening, I had these like really nice gardening gloves on, but they like have perished. They've been overloved by myself, and they had like loads of holes in. I was like, I'm never going to use these again, so I was going to pop them in the bin. And I was like, who's going to love these gloves? Fosdog. So Fosdog, oh my gosh, he was so excited. He was running around, and obviously it smells like me as well. It's got my sweaty hand juice in there. So he was like absolutely loving this glove, running around with it. So now I have an old manky gardening glove that I have in his toy box as well. What else do I have that's like a little bit obscure? Well, I mean, Mingo is just looks like Mingo looks like he wants to be gone. He's like, take me out, I'm done. He's lived a life, but he's still going. Fosdog loves him. To be fair, a lot of Fosdog's toys, like there's been very few that he's actually destroyed and have had to be put in the bin. Like a few of them have had surgery. I've sewn them up. A few of them have been put in the washing machine a lot. His Highland cow, he really likes his Highland cow actually. But no, Mingo I think is definite, and Mingo and Mingus are his favourite. Anyway, I think there are some other weird things that I have in my washing basket or in his dog toy basket that he's stolen over the... Anyway. So yeah, and then the other thing that I did end up buying was some cushion covers, and they have pumpkins and autumn leaves on. But from a distance, they just look like a really nice country print, and I wasn't going to buy them, but I was like, they were too nice. They were too nice and too cheap, and I was like, I'm going to add them to my basket. That was my little naughty splurge for the month. But anyway, so I went up to the till with my cushions, my white t-shirt, and then it was so embarrassing because when I put Mingus, or the people that just joined the podcast could be like, Mingus, what is she on about? This toy flamingo, when I put it on the like counter, it squeaked at the guy, and I don't know why, but it like kind of made me jump, and I was like, I'm really sorry. I was like, that's a dog toy. it's my puppy. I'm not just, I don't just buy dog toys myself. Anyway, so that was my lovely TK Maxx adventure. I had a little look around the shoes as well, because I found some like really nice like sandals and things over the years. Again, everything was a bit mid. Nothing was really, I feel like I'm quite good with my money. If I'm going to spend money on something, it has to be something that I absolutely love. It can't be like, oh, I kind of like it. Like when I buy something, it has to be like, oh my gosh, absolutely love it. Anyway, next up, my next little store of choice went to, I think it's B&M. Yeah, I think it's B&M. They're all kind of like B&M, The Range, Home Bargains. Like in my brain, they're all the same thing. I know they're not, but similar vibe. There's a lot of stuff that you don't need in there. There's also a lot of like good brands. Again, this is not an ad, but there's a lot of like good brands that are just cheaper. Like I like to get my Yorkshire tea from there, random. But anyway, do you know what they do have there, which is brilliant? Or at my local one anyway, they have a garden centre bit, and they have so many like discounted plants. Now, some of them you look at and you're like, I can see why that's discounted, because it doesn't look like it has much life left in them. But if you're good at gardening and you can resurrect them, oh my gosh, you can get some really good bang for your buck plants. And so I bought some new flowers to put in my troughs in the garden. Now, the way that I was like, I'm going to go in, have a little look around, and then I'll probably go back and get a trolley. But to get a trolley, you have to go through the little flap, which is kind of like the flap of shame, because you have to go through and be like, I'm not buying anything. And I was too embarrassed to go through the little flap of shame. So what did I do? I ended up going and getting 2 like baskets instead, which I probably should have got a trolley, because there was this really sweet old guy, and he came up to me and was like, I'm going to the till, do you want to put your plants on my trolley? I was like, yes please. Anyway, I put them in my basket, put my baskets in his trolley, pushed it over to the counter. Obviously I went and paid for my plants, and I said to the guy at the till, am I allowed, like, I promise I won't steal them, but am I allowed to take my baskets to my car so I don't have to make 2 trips? And the guy was like, yeah, that's fine. And the old guy was like, oh, I can take them to your car if you like. And I said to this guy, look, it's so sweet of you, thank you so much, but like, you're going to be like hanging around all afternoon with me. Luckily the car's right next to the door, don't worry, you're good, I can carry them, I'm a strong horse girl, that kind of thing. Anyway, do you know what ended up happening? This guy was literally parked right next door to me, so he could have taken them in his trolley. I was like, so it was quite funny when I was like loading up my stuff. I was like, oh, you are next to me. So anyway, that was my lovely afternoon out. I bought my dog a lovely dog toy. I got a nice white t-shirt, some cute cushion covers, and some plants for my garden. And do you know what I also did? Because I was like, if this is a treat myself afternoon, I would say I very rarely get takeaway coffee. Only if I'm like away from home, like I'm at an away show. Davide normally gets me my coffee in the morning. It's the day where I get into the car at 4 a.m. and then I magically wake up at 8 a.m. at a service station, and Davide's there next to me in the car, and he has my coffee order and my breakfast order next to me. But no, I did, guys, I splurged and I went and I got myself a matcha. For my lovely afternoon day off, I went and got a strawberry matcha with coconut milk. If you have it with little top tip, as long as you're not allergic to coconut milk, obviously don't have anything you're allergic to. Coconut milk and matcha, 10 out of 10. It makes it more creamy and sweet. So there we go, a little life hack for you all. But anyway, there we go. That was my lovely little solo afternoon out, my little trip out. Let me know in the comments what you do as your little solo afternoon, solo little day out. Like, obviously, don't get me wrong, I love going to the gym. I love doing like a solo workout class. Obviously, it's not solo because it's with people, but like I go to the class on my own. Which when I first started doing that, I thought that was quite brave. What else do I enjoy? Obviously doing stuff with the horses, doing stuff in the garden, doing like creative stuff. But every now and again, I just need a little afternoon of doing something that's not to do with the horses or the animals, and something not to do with social media. And that's my, like, I'm just gonna have a little afternoon, have a little peruse, a little walk around. But anyway, there we go. That was my afternoon the other day. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to today's midweek mini pod. I just want to say another huge thank you to Redpost for sponsoring the podcast. Go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk for all of your equestrian and country needs. And I'll see you all next week. Or no, I'll see you all on Saturday for a feature-length pod episode. Bye!